Hey, ladies and gentlemen, what is going on? Welcome to another incredible episode of the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 Countdown Show here on the Ill-Minded Media YouTube channel. As always, my name is Uba, and this is the place where I get to count down my 5 favorites in film, in television, and in music. Now, in the last video, we got to talk about the greatest rap songs in the golden era. That, of course, for me is the 90s, which is part of an ongoing series that we're doing here where we list our favorite hip-hop songs of each decade. So please, whenever you guys have the chance, check that out. Everything is all up on our channel. Before we get into today's countdown, a little business. If you have a topic or a question that you would like to be answered on one of our future videos by myself or Medina, getting it on is very, very simple. All you have to do is send them to our email. That's at illmindedmediagroup@gmail.com. Now, as always, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more dope content by clicking on the subscribe button after this video or below the screen and liking our Facebook page where we post show announcements, movie trailers, classic music videos, and a ton of other cool pop culture stuff. Now, with all of that out of the way, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Let's get down to what we love. And today we're talking about none other than the biggest show in the world right now. That, of course, is Game of Thrones. Here is your first and final warning. This video has a ton of spoilers, so run to the hills while you have the chance. So, the 7th season of HBO's fantasy drama premiered on the 16th of July and ended after only 7 episodes on the 27th of August. Like the previous season, it consisted mostly of original content not found in the series of books that they've passed by now. But the penultimate season focused primarily on the merging of several key storylines, such as Jon Snow forging an alliance with Daenerys Targaryen, and the reunion of the remaining members of the ill-fated Stark family. Now, while it was hurt in some ways by the accelerated pace in storytelling, incredible action sequences and strong performances from the likes of Peter Dinklage and Kit Harington came together to deliver another very solid showing for HBO. But the question remains, did it deliver one of my top 5 moments in the entire series run? Let's find out. Let's jump into the countdown. Coming in at number 5 is one of the most emotional and surprising moments in a show that's quite honestly full of them. It came in episode 5 of season 6, appropriately titled The Door. At the end of this episode, we find that an army of whites have located Bran Stark, Hodor, and Mera Reed. At this point in the series, the only dialogue that we've ever gotten from Hodor was his name. That and so much more is suddenly explained in his last living moments and during the ensuing escape from the Whites. And something out of a tributary Gilliam movie, the past meets present in one of the dopest gotcha moments in all of television. Not only does this reveal effectively pay off a slow burn that started in season 1, but it does an exceptional job of fleshing out a secondary character in a matter of moments. The sadness and shock that came with Hodor's backstory is A1 manipulation by means of storytelling, and the end of The Door has to go down as one of the most brilliant moments in Game of Thrones. For pick number 4, we jump back to season number 4. In episode 6, entitled The Laws of Gods and Men, we find fan favorite and black sheep Tyrion Lannister at King's Landing being wrongfully tried for the very satisfying death of the annoying King Joffrey Baratheon. The final scene of this episode serves as a sort of payoff to a family feud that's been building, that's been growing since the beginning of the series. Tyrion's complicated relationships with Joffrey, Tywin, Jaime, Cersei, and even Shae all come to a head here as he lets loose on everybody. The moment where Shae, the love of his life, betrays him at the stand triggers the rage that's been building inside of him since birth. This is the moment where Tyrion finally gets to tell his family what he really thinks about him. The physical acting of Peter Dinklage in this scene is incredible and proof positive that he is a gem of an actor. The emotional crescendo that leads to his demand of trial by combat is Game of Thrones at its best. Alright guys, dope moment number 3 comes from Baelor Orr, episode 9 of the very first season. This is it. This is where viewers, privy or unaware of the books, learn that HBO and the minds behind Game of Thrones were not playing around. Ned Stark, the undisputed main character of the show, the guy whose face was plastered all over the posters, all over the commercials, went and got killed before the end of the first season. This was the first and arguably greatest teaching moment of the entire hit series. The lesson was that nice guys finished last. Now, the magic of Baylor's defining scene is undeniable. Ned Stark, played by the great Sean Bean, has been imprisoned at this point and falsely accused of high treason. As a matter of honor to a fault, Ned finally decides to make the smart and political move and confess to the Lannisters in order to save his family. Unfortunately for him, it was too little, too late. The sword came down, the birds flew up. I was confused, you were confused, the entire world was confused. Game of Thrones set the bar high here and completely changed the game for television. For my second pick, we travel to the penultimate episode of season 6, which in my opinion featured the incredible Battle of the Bastards. Game of Thrones has had a ton of amazing action sequences, but in my opinion, nothing comes close to the brutal fight scene between Jon Snow's Northern Alliance and the army of the disgusting and revolting Ramsay Bolton. Gone were the magic, gone were the wildfire and the dragons. This was a battle that focused primarily on human combat and the horror of war. The fact that it can be compared to any of the show's supernatural highlights is a testament to how great it is. Now, this arguably stands shoulder to shoulder with something like Saving Private Ryan's depiction of the Normandy Beach landing, which I understand is saying a lot, especially for a fictional television show. It's stunningly cinematic and packed with a lot of notable moments, such as Jon Snow staring down Ramsay's approaching army all alone, as well as his horrifying climb out of a mountain of dead bodies. Coming in at number 1 is something that should be a surprise to absolutely no one. It is the disturbing and heartbreaking Red Wedding from the Reigns of Castamere, episode 9 of season 3. This was the swerve to top all swerves in television. This shook pop culture to the point where reaction videos of viewers became just as popular as the actual moment itself. At the end of this episode, surprise, surprise, the Starks are catching another L, and boy oh boy, is it a big one. This time, it's coming from the hands of Walder Frey and Roose Bolton, who, with the help of the dastardly Lannisters, slaughter Catelyn and Robb Stark, a pregnant Queen Talisa, and many, many more over a broken marriage pact. Everything from Catelyn's initial suspicion to her final excruciating cry is executed perfectly in this episode. It's all television gold that works amazingly well, even if you know what's coming. If Ned Stark's death in season 1 established that nice guys finished last, the Red Wedding confirmed that honor had no place at the top of the Game of Thrones. So there it is, another 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 countdown has come to an end. Those are my 5 favorite Game of Thrones moments. I hope you all had a great time taking a look back at one of the greatest shows of all time with me. I'm super excited to see how it all ends. I'm sure you all are too. Let me know about your favorite moments in the comment section below or on social media at Mr. Uba Udowgu. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more insightful videos on movies, television, and music. Take care and peace.